Cool, yep. We're live, but I do hear you. Hello, and welcome to Court of the Rings, here on twitch.tv/LotroStream, youtube.com/Lord of the Rings/live, and facebook.com/Lotro. I am Lotro's community manager, Cordovan, and I am happy to be here with you on a fine second day of summer. Beautiful sunny day here in Massachusetts. Hope you're having a good time as well. We are going to be doing some epic book questing on Landroval today. And we'll also talk just a little bit about some of the latest news. We will, of course, take all the Q&A that we can handle. Can't promise an answer, but I can promise I will at least try. Thanks, Gumps Gang. Yep, me and my son are having some fun. This weekend we're going to go see fireworks. It's a rolling fireworks thing. They're starting early this year. The 24th. That seems to be a ways away from the 4th of July, but if you are 6, it doesn't matter what day it is if there are fireworks. Also, I wanted to call out that I have a guest here today. Per usual, Druid's Fire is with me. Can you hear me?
Nah, I can't hear you at all, Jerry. How you doing?
Good. All right, you weren't able to hear me earlier. We were having technical difficulties, so...
Yeah, Discord and my virtual cable don't like each other too much.
Virtual cable?
Yep. I'm using a virtual mixer to handle everything.
And what does that do for you that not having a virtual mixer would do?
It keeps a big piece of hardware off my desk.
Okay. All right, so before we get started on questing and head in game, I did want to call out that there is a big thing going on Crickhollow. Starts this afternoon. Shirefest, the 5th edition of it, gets underway. It runs through the weekend at the Methil stage on Crickhollow. Brought to you by Second Breakfast. You can go to tinyurl.com/Shirefest for info. I believe you'll go straight here. I'm going to be starting off the stream at 3 o'clock. I can only stream for a couple hours today, and then I am not able to do it this weekend. We're going to try to get a bunch of it on Lotro Stream this weekend, so if you can't make Shirefest in person, maybe you're at work, and you want to just check things out, head to Lotro Stream. There's some chance it'll be on, but like I said, unfortunately, it being the summer weekend, and everyone having things going on, we're not going to be able to stream the whole event, unfortunately, this weekend here, but I'll be taking a couple hours, and then Druid's Fire, I know you're going to be presumably doing a bunch of it, probably more than you should, but nonetheless, you're going to be streaming a lot this weekend. Any idea kind of what your general plan is for streaming?
Everything for the rest of today, because it runs until Big Ed's show tonight at 10, and then it's running from noon to midnight tomorrow, so I'll be streaming all of that.
Oh, you're doing the whole day? Yep.
Because Crickhollow is where my main is, so I got to represent my home server.
All right. And Sunday, I think you have to work. I'm not going to be around here, so I think we might be a little lacking on Sunday. But we'll see if someone on Lotro Stream is able to pick up the show. If so, we'll try to have it, but there's some chance we won't. Also, if we do find someone hosting it, or someone streaming it that isn't a Lotro streamer or whatever, maybe we can host it or something like that as well. So
that would be most appreciated if somebody could stream it.
Yep. So stream it, folks.
Yeah, because as Sam Burke said, the first band on Sunday is his band, which is also the kinship among Unlangeable, the Department of Harmony and Song.
All right. So it's going to be similar to other concerts. It takes place, of course, in the Shire, it being Shirefest. And like I say, join me at 3 o'clock today. I'll be streaming Struck by Moonlight and Dance Flora. And then I got to take off around 5 o'clock here, pick up my kid from daycare. But until then, we'll be doing some of that as well. All right, let us head in game. We were last doing some anniversary stuff, but I would like to get going on the books again. I'm level 52, and the books I have yet to do were level 50, so it makes sense to clear out an Epic Volume 1, Book 11, Chapter 4, and then perhaps, if we have time, head into Volume 2, the prologue. Does that sound okay to you?
Sounds fine to me.
Alright, so I need a Numinous City Stone, so I need to talk to Kalen Glad and travel with him to Barad Roth. That is in Tinadir and...
Even dim, I'll port you there.
Should I say Everswim? Is that what it is?
Yeah, you gotta say Everswim, especially since you decided to do the Everswim on us.
Yeah,
last
right.
time around.
Why was there no bull roar this week? I think various reasons. We just didn't have time really to do a bull roar this week. And we are still planning to hopefully next week sometime have update 22.3. Like I said, it's a smaller update than 22.2, and I don't think we got as much of the classwork in as perhaps we were hoping we could do. But we are going to be continuing to work on that. Oh, this is solo, huh?
Yep.
All right. Well, let me drop you real quick, and then we'll pick up at the end here.
Like a rock.
Oh, you've done.
Haha.
So yeah, we do have set for this weekend, or next week, to do update 22.3. Stay tuned as to the exact timing of that. I think we're taking tonight's build as a possible release candidate, and we'll kind of have to see what happens there with that.
How can I be of service?
We have driven them from this place, and they will not return. Dwinstrel, I have a request of you. As long as it isn't singing, I'll probably do it. We go now to build cairns over our fallen kinsmen, Dunedain all. Okay, I can do these things. Can the team change the stack of Scroll of Empowerment from 10 to 50 or 100 and allow the multi-use of scrolls to allies? We get that one a lot. It's a suggestion we've certainly heard. Perhaps it's something we can do in the future. I'm not saying I'm going to get all that far. I'm just saying that that's my short-term plan here.
I'm not saying there's 4 chapters to the next book. I'm saying there's 4 books. There's a lot more story before the Moria prologue.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Jeez.
Oh, yeah. This is like the good stuff.
Cool. Is that U22.3 on Bull Roar next week, or going straight to live without a Bull Roar? Going straight to live. But like I said, it really doesn't have nearly as much classwork as we had thought. It's mostly just some bug fixes. Daft Kenshin, thank you for watching on YouTube. You've not played it before, but want to. Does this game still have a lot of players? Now, I should quantify or qualify that I do work for Standing Stone Games, the developer of Lord of the Rings Online. I'm their community manager. So, generally, I would prefer to leave opinion-based questions to the community. But yeah, we got lots of players. No, Andrew, over on Facebook. This is not us working on Bjorning. Somber moment, of course, here in game, so I don't want to crack too jokey or anything like that. let me see if I can call up. Like I say, I don't want to just go down the release notes because they're not really live yet. But let me just kind of take a generalized look at what we have coming up in update 22.3. Now, I know the other thing is some of the work on the classwork also ended up kind of getting delayed because we had other things we had to address, including spam. We have got some continued things that we are releasing with update 22.3 to deal with spam. And the reality is that we don't want to give out the details of that right now, because if we do, then these spammers will have a heads up to try to get around it. So, not too surprising there, but let me see what I can perhaps talk about. Marthiel's forces are marching through the Evenden Gate.
What do you need?
It has begun. Turogethir has done as he said he would, for this is his Raven Fleetwing. Marthiel's troops are leaving this land by the Evenden Gate. We must depart this place. I thank you for attending my people. Okie dokie. Nice little ceremony for the fallen.
What can I do for you? What do you need?
Okay. We're heading on our horsies. How long till we can electroshock spammers through their keyboards and mice? That would be interesting. How much longer till you don't have to reset your UI every time you go from 4K to any other resolution and stop needing reading glasses to read quest text? It's on our agenda to further allow for UI skilling to deal with 4K monitors. As far as the resetting your UI, that one I'm less familiar with. Was the way DPS was calculated on weapons changed in U22.2? Not that I'm aware of. Is Time Operator over on YouTube, is SSG aware of some freezing issues and skirmishes? That is not something I am personally familiar with, so make sure you fill out a bug report on that. Now, if CS is getting a bunch of reports on it, then QA is getting those reports too, and maybe it just hasn't made its way to my desk. I will look up Fel Newell, see if I can see something on that Warden buff there. Are we going to address the unbalanced bosses in the moors? No. We do not currently have anything PvMP related in U22.3. Oh, okay. So VS Avatar, you're saying it stays the same across systems, which is true. So when you play on your laptop, you have to reset your UI scaling because everything appears so big. So here's a suggestion for you. Go, gosh, I hope I get this right. There's, oh, what is the name of the file? There's basically a text file that you can open up in your notepad. Let me actually see if I can find it. Hang on a second, Druid's Fire. Let me see if I can find this. So,
or just put me on follow.
Yeah, userpreferences.ini. It should be in your My Documents, the Lord of the Rings file. And you'll open that up in Notepad, and you'll see a whole bunch of things there. That will up to and include, say, the size of your resolution, whether it's windowed, triple buffering, etc., windowed resolution. It has really all the UI elements in there, and that is a portable file. So what I would recommend you do is copy what you have for the 4K resolution over someplace temporarily, change it to what you want for your laptop, then take that out or whatever, maybe do it reverse, put it into, like, I don't know, some kind of portable program, email it to yourself or what have you, use Dropbox and that, and then get that over to your laptop. So what you'll end up doing then is you can actually have separate user preferences.ini files for your laptop and your computer. Now, during game updates and that, it may get rid of your user preferences INI settings and you'll have to redo it again. But what you could do is just sort of keep it in documents and then just copy it over whenever you need to, and do it that way. So you can adjust that much more quickly than having to manually go through all that stuff. So when you play on your laptop, for example, you can just sort of, if necessary, drop that file over into your My Docs folder again, and then start it up and you'll have all the ULI elements the way you want them to. I do that myself, frankly, because I have different settings for different computers that I use for work and all that sort of thing. So I do that fairly regularly. I've got, like, basically a work setting and a home setting and a laptop setting and a, you know, all sorts of different things. I don't believe, Telerian, we do have a way to copy the size and color of the font from character to character. That would be something we'd need to do. Oh, yes. Save the UI in the character, then load it on the others. Oh, okay, yeah. There you go. Again, same basic idea. And that's UI layout /UI space layout /UI space layout space save. And then you can use /UI space layout space load to load your currently saved UI layout. When do the special summer quests start? Let me actually get to that in just a little bit. Man, this is a very pretty area. Let me just say. I am digging it.
I can see why you'd like it. It's very D&D-like, isn't it?
Yeah. Sorry, horsey.
And that is the first time in 11 years of playing Lord of the Rings Online that anybody's ever said Fornost is pretty.
Really?
Yes. It's supposed to be creepy.
I don't know. Kind of seemed Westerosi to me. You can also give layouts and names. You can save multiple, I think. Yeah, that's true, too. I actually... Similar, I have a... I don't do this for Locher. I do this for DDO, where it has the same thing. I have a layout for my casters, layout for my tanks, layout for my rogues. Layout for home, layout for the laptop. You know, like I said, all sorts of different layouts, things like that.
Nerd.
Well, you know, if you've been playing for 12 years, you do that work once, and then you don't have to do it again. Okay. Am I supposed to do an emote? Oh yeah, here we go. Look.
Alright, I gotta find the summit of Weathertop, and we're gonna port to Oscar Roof to get there.
Okay. I thought Fornost was pretty. It was nice and purple. I thought it was a little melancholy. I thought it was neat. Cord June says he is not a nerd, he is to be addressed as geek. I'm fine with whatever. I fully admit that I am a nerd slash geek, and I have no problem with that. And if you don't like it, that is your problem, not mine. That is my general feeling on such matters.
What about the word dork?
I don't think I'm a dork exactly.
Yes, you are.
Am I? Alright, well,
Yes.
fine then, I'm a dork. Alright. Just remember, when they're calling you names, that's their problem, not yours. It's a reflection of
truth
who
hurts.
they are, not who you are.
I never said I wasn't a dork either. Come on.
Yeah.
So you know, chat, y'all haven't heard the super nerdiness that is Court going on about Atari for like 3 hours.
It's probably true. Well, I don't know. People have managed to distract me into certain Atari talk on this live stream, which has nothing to do with retro gaming. But speaking of which,
I don't know
no,
who
I'm kidding.
I don't know who that could have been.
Will it ever be possible to track more than 5 quest deeds at a time? The panel perhaps getting an option to track 5, 10, 15. Man, I would love that. I don't know if there's a technical limitation as to why it is the way it is. Maybe it's something to do with active memory or something like that. As far as I'm concerned, it would be nice if you could just sort of track everything. But
Track all of the things.
yeah. I mean, we do it in DDO, basically. You pick up a quest as you walk past it, and it's just there. So I don't see why we couldn't do that for Lotro.
But to be fair, we didn't really have a good quest tracker back in the day, so, you know.
Yeah. That would be a question, however, for probably an engineer, which I don't have the answer to.
And as far as I know, you don't have Montgomery Scott on your team.
What operating system am I using? I am currently using Windows 10 on this Lotro computer. And I use Windows 10 at home. Specifically Windows 10, the not home version, 64-bit, whatever that is. I can't think of the name of it right now. Pro, do they call it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Once
I
again,
am,
we come to
after all, a
Weathertop.
browsing professional, so...
Come to Weathertop at sunset, which means it's gorgeous up here. Even though you know, it just looks amazing.
I have a degree in computerology.
I have a degree in history. No joke.
I don't have a degree in computerology. Plus,
there
computerology isn't a
one.
thing.
Well, it is, but not officially.
Yeah.
It is real beautiful up here. You can't even really see it quite as well in the on the stream, but it is gorgeous.
Yeah. Jump, jump, jump. I love it. When you reinstall the game, do you delete the old folder it was in first? You don't really have to. I would recommend if for some reason you're having technical issues and you feel like you need to completely re-download the game, just go in there and delete all that old files. That way you're starting fresh. But technically you don't have to.
I dare you to follow me.
Oh, are you doing it?
YOLO.
All right. Wah! I'm the king of the world. Wah! I got splatted. Nice.
Aha!
Yeah, it
You
was
died.
well worth it. Let me retreat. Where am I retreating to? And you lose. Oh, I'm way back here? Okay.
Ha 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 ha, sucker.
That's fine. It was worth it. Actually, let me see. What made me want to do what I'm doing? I'm interesting. Oh, I could talk about that in a little bit. But before I just kind of do that, let me quick look at our update 22.3 release notes that are not public yet. So the main crux of update 22.3 is the final touches on the new Summer Festival instances. They're the Perfect Picnic and Boss from the Vault's Thrang. They are going to be available for the duration of the Summer Festival. Completing them will let you get festival tokens in addition to unique gear and cosmetic items. The Summer Festival begins on June 28th, starting at 10 a.m. Eastern, and it runs until, or well, through July 16th, shut off July 17th at 3 a.m. Eastern. So that's the current schedule for the Summer Festival, and that was really the crux of Update 22.3. For classwork, we have fixed an issue with the Guardian's War Chant-based damage to account for its higher physical damage source on the Hunter. Press onwards will be able to be used while moving. It's no longer an induction skill. And then we did the rest of the changes that snuck in accidentally with Lingering Wounds. So Lingering Wounds damage over time will tear up properly. Its base damage over time has been reduced, but peak damage increased. Its damage over time duration has been increased, and its skill cooldown has been just bumped up very slightly to 3 seconds. We do have new itemization for that. We did a cosmetic thing where switching instruments after using the music system will now correctly display the equipped or outfitted instrument. What do we have here? Otherwise, and then a bunch of engineering UI work. Oh, here's one that might be interesting to you. A search bar has been added to the quest log for filtering quest entries by name or level. Quest categories, unfortunately, are not searchable. Show completed quests will be now faster. A label's being added to the quest log to show how many quest items are being shown out of the total active or completed quests. For the Who and grouping panels, we're now going to display the default minimum and maximum levels as 1 and 115. Then we're doing some spam stuff. Like I said, I can't talk about that yet because we don't want spammers to get a heads up on that. I was fixed a very specific but very troubling issue on the Mac client where if you were a female high elf character with a legendary item rune satchel, you couldn't log in on the Mac client. We fixed that. Oh, and then also for not just those who need it for accessibility reasons, but for those who just were using it otherwise, we also are bringing back X input detection. It's actually being added to the settings. So if you want to play with an X input device, which is like an Xbox 360 controller, but is also other things as well, you can enable X input detection in the options/input. Oh, and another one, an issue has been fixed with aspect ratio auto calculation. Changing your screen mode should now properly reapply the correct aspect ratio. So, like I say, unfortunately, we really didn't get a lot of class fixes in for update 22.3. Hopefully that'll be, coming in a near future update. But we do have a lot of kind of quality of life engineering fixes, bug fixes, and then the seasonal instances were the main one there. And then, like I say, there are a few things that I didn't mention because we don't want to let the spammers know what we're doing. But hopefully will make a pretty big difference. The spammers tend to work hard to circumvent just about anything you throw at them. But we've got certainly some better quality of life things here. Sam, celebrating Midsummer Eve today. I've had grilled sausage, potato salad, and later strawberries and ice cream. That sounds good. Yesterday was the first day of summer, though, right? Male elves have been removed from the game as previously announced, right? Any news about the 64-bit client? No. Please get dire need fixed for champion in blue. It's a very poor skill in comparison to the update in blue. It's practically useless. Okay. I will make sure that people know that. Does my account have administrative rights on the computer? Have you tried running Lotro as an admin? I realize these may seem like basic suggestions, but I need to know what you've tried. So, this account is my play account. It does not have admin privileges. In order to get admin privileges, I need to log in on a admin account. Like I said, this is my play account. I do have an official, quote-unquote, plus Cordovan account. And if I log into that account, then I've got admin permissions with the various levels of restriction that go into place for security and other reasons. So on this account, I can't do admin commands or anything like that.
So you can't teleport me into, like, next to a raid boss?
No, and I couldn't spawn items, or I couldn't fix bugs, or, you know, if I ran into some kind of CS issue, I would just have to contact CS just like anyone else did, etc., etc. But on the character that you will see at 3 p.m. today, that one is a god!
How can I be of service?
You were seeking the Engmerim that passed this way not long ago. I saw them coming from a great distance and managed to hide myself before they arrived. I feared I would be found, for at the head of their number marched a man of great evil, a black Numenorian. If I do not miss my guess. It seemed to me that... I like that. If I do not miss my guess. It seemed to me he stared right at my hiding place, but then was interrupted. Your face tells me that you have had dealings with this man. What are you trying to say? And the memory is full of sorrow. From what I overheard, it seemed the course lay to the south. Speak to Sis. Tell Candleth. The Angmarian. Okay.
She's a ways away.
Alright.
Oh my god, everyone is Kikula in chat. Zipali, do you not have to repeat your question? We got it the first 5 times.
Who's this?
Zipfile is asking about problems occurs when you scale the UI. Tries to do anything up or down scale, it goes insta-blurry. I have not heard anything about this.
And this is like a permanent insta-blur?
I do not
That's
know.
news to me as well, but then I don't scale my UI personally. I'm fine with that, so... And yes, the one that I'll be joining at 3 p.m. here on Lotro Stream for the start of the Shirefest does have those fun camera controls, so I'll be doing that. Any ETA and the next classwork update? They're working on it. They ended up doing a bit of other kind of work-related things for update 22.3, so perhaps didn't get quite as much classwork as they had hoped, but that work is ongoing. It'll be coming. If we do a 22.4, there's a pretty good chance some of it at least will be in there. 23 will probably have some. We'll see. It's ongoing. So you can expect really classwork to various levels of intensity, really for the foreseeable future. Except I could walk down the hall to CCS. Yeah, that is technically true. But there is actually a thing where typically if we are on our play accounts and we run into an issue that we need CS assistance, we don't have like a special queue or anything like that. We go through the same process as everyone else. Now, you're right. There are some things where I could be like, yo. But typically, like if I'm at home playing or whatever, it's the same as anyone else. Will there be a 22.4? That's the current plan, is that there will be a 22.4. That could, of course, shift depending on what goes on and all that, but there's some chance of a 22.4. Ah, Lexicon. Maybe I can do a fly over the bell tower in Dale. Can't do that right now, but that's not a bad idea. I'll have to keep an eye out. Maybe do that at some point. Not a cosmetic Sarah Oakhart pet, but I can say that we have got some new pets that'll be coming with the summer instances that are pretty cool. Will a chicken run to Mordor deed be put in? If I was in charge, it would be.
I think it's on Pinion's plate somewhere.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. It's probably not a high priority, but it's a lovely idea, and one I am fully in favor of.
How can I be of service?
Candleth, you're leaving this meat on the fire just kind of burning. I hope you turn around and...
What do you need?
You bring warning from my sister that the Angmarim have come to Tal Breenan. Her warning is welcome, but my scouts have already encountered the enemy. Do you know why they have come to this place? Can you tell me what brings them into these woods, so far from their evil homeland?
Might you spare a moment of your time?
We're going to be doing a little bit of fighting of Angmarim scouts. No problem. We can do that. I can't really tell you what classwork will be next on the horizon, only because it'll be similar to what we have been doing, where rather than, say, picking a class and doing a fairly complete top-to-bottom list, we're sort of doing periodic work based on what else we're doing, what makes sense, pressing needs, etc., etc. So, no, I can't tell you what'll be next. Part of it is that there are things that are being done that may not be released before something else. A lot of it depends on when it's right, when it's ready to go, when it gets through QA and all that other kind of thing. So there may well be cases where something else is technically done first but released second, if you know what I mean. And so I wouldn't want to tie the hands of our developers or create expectation that caused problems. Oh no. That's all right.
We're just killing random things.
No, I didn't want to kill that deer. I didn't mean to.
Well, now you got to.
If I tried to get the team to port Lotro to the Atari, that would be funny. They're actually, it's actually fairly interesting. There were, Lord of the Rings games in the old retro sphere, but not really a ton of them. There are a few, but I'm trying to think. Was PC maybe the first one? Computer games? I know there was a Lord of the Rings text adventure back in the day. Is U23 still scheduled before the end of the summer? Yes. It'll most likely be later this summer. Wow. Probably should not jump off this.
You can if you like.
Woohoo.
Oh my god, Maid of Lines is in the chat. Jeff, get back
Yeah,
to work.
Interplay had an RPG or two. See, that's what I thought, right? Yeah. I recall there was a text adventure one. I'm pretty sure it was Lord of the Rings, not The Hobbit, but it's been a while, obviously. All right, what am I looking for? I am looking for...
Scout.
Yep, Scout.
They respawn pretty quickly, so...
Oh, yeah, Hobbit text adventure Travel 2, so maybe it was a Hobbit one. I thought it was Lord of the Rings, but maybe I'm wrong. I think that was the first one I saw, was the Hobbit text adventure for the Apple II. Yeah.
I've got all my dudes. How about you?
Sons of Numenor on Facebook. Yeah, I've got them all too. The meat over the fire clearly needs a warning label advising people of the risks of eating undercooked meat. Yeah, I agree. Yep. All right, Candlead. Let's head back to the... That's actually not right. I need to go up, don't I? Where are you headed? Am I going up? Yeah, I'm going up.
Yeah,
right?
go up the hill.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm also trying to troubleshoot XSplit on my laptop while I'm doing this. It's trying not to be. It's trying to be funny.
Funny haha? Or funny...
Funny, I'm going to take a hammer to it.
Okay.
What can I do for you?
Let's see. I don't really need the Angmarn Stalker. How about Candlelis Blade? I'm not really a blade user, so that doesn't really matter. The shield? Oh, it's a Warden shield. Whatever. Let's take this.
Mind my words, traveler.
Certain places within the woods and crags of Tal'Dorei have an unsavory air. Well, if you didn't leave your meat just cooking there on the fire. No, anyway. A few travelers that pass by them oft report an unsettled feeling. Okay.
Oh, Delaw said, "Oh, we're gonna hate that place."
Nice. Did I address gold spammers IMing people? I did not, although I do believe I talked about that last week. That is one of the things that we're hoping to make headway on with update 22.3 in regards to the spam work that we're doing. seems to be one particular group in particular of spammers. They were enjoying sending people tills. Trust me when I say that we dislike it as much as you do. Oh, so what made me want to do what I'm doing? So, for when I was in, I guess I was about 15 years old, I happened to be able to get a job in radio at a local radio station in the small town I lived in small city, I guess you could say. It was about 1,700 people in southern Minnesota. And so I had the opportunity to start doing some like advertisement recording and on-air broadcasting and things like that at the age of 15. It was a part-time job, you know, not nothing big or anything like that. But it got me into radio very much. And so when I went to college and that, eventually I found my way to kind of radio school, you know, one of those tech college things, and worked in radio for many years. I worked in Minnesota and Wisconsin, and then I transitioned over into news, and I worked for a national radio news wire based out of Indianapolis for pretty close to a decade. I covered the State House and all that for the local and kind of Indiana news outlets, and then I also did national news for, you know, the national news group that I worked for. So I covered things like politics and crime and tornadoes and natural disasters. I covered the Indy 500, some sports, and just all sorts of things. And so I was really into radio and news, broadcasting, and all that sort of thing. But for, as I'm sure no one is surprised to hear, the radio industry between the year 1997 and, let's say, 2010 underwent some significant changes. Really having a lot to do with the birth of the iPad or iPhone and all that sort of thing, iPod. And so really there were just job cuts after job cuts after job cuts. And I pretty quickly realized that I needed to do something to kind of find a different career. Not that I didn't enjoy what I did, because I loved it, but the reality of the business was just such that I could see within a few years there would be about a quarter as many jobs as there were, and that proved true. I'd been playing video games since I was a young kid back, you know, like Atari. Like I said, Atari 26. Actually, my very first console that I played was an Odyssey, and that same day I played a Pong unit. So that is really my first console, so to speak. But the first one I really understood and got into was the 2600. So I'd been into video games my whole life. I love Turbine's games. You know, big DDO player in particular, but like Lotro as well. And an opportunity came at a time I was just facing layoffs at the wire service I was working for. An opportunity came up to do a lower tier community gig with Turbine. And thanks to kind of some people I knew here and my skill set and all that, there actually is a lot of portability in that skill set. So I was very lucky and very fortunate to be able to get my foot in the door here at Turbine in November of 2010. And I've been here ever since. Now, you know, SSG, of course, but in this position with community for Dungeons & Dragons Online, Lord of the Rings Online, and that sort of thing. 30 years from now, Cordovan is slated to play as Gandalf in the next Lord of the Rings Redux movie. I would love to do that. Yes, if you know, if you can go into the future and make that happen, I am down. I am down. Yep. Indiana only has news once every 5 years. You would be surprised. Let me just say, as someone who had to do that work, it was a full-time job in radio, meaning you work 80 hours a week and get paid for 40. But yeah, it was so busy. And that was actually part of that shift in career, as well as it was very stressful, and for me at least, not a very family-friendly career. You're always working. There's no time off, you know. As soon as I'd sit down, I'd be like, oh, now there's a tornado in Evansville, or I'd sit down and it's like, there's a big crime here, or this happened, and that happened. And it wasn't just Indiana, it was Indiana and surrounding areas. I mean, I covered the Paul Wellstone, if you remember that, back in Minnesota, when he unfortunately passed away in a plane crash up in Duluth. I was there. I covered the 2000, 2004, and 2008 presidential elections. Yeah, I was just always busy. So, oh, you started with the Vectrex. I love the Vectrex. All right, so what am I doing here, though? We are looking, investigate Aaron Singor. Make sure I got where we're going here.
I'm still trying to troubleshoot XSplit because my internet just conked out for a minute and it's throwing everything for a loop.
Oh no.
What do you need?
Yeah, now it's not even reading my capture card on my streaming laptop.
So are you not hearing me at all?
I can hear you just fine. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I hear you. I'm just...
Yeah, it dropped out for a minute and I restarted, but it's still messing with my streaming laptop, so I'm trying to get that straightened out. So you chat with the peeps. Do that thing.
Yep. Serious question back in Lotro. Is there ever going to be a catch-up mechanism for legendary weapons for main characters' alt? That has come up in discussions, but we certainly have nothing to announce or anything like that on it. Ooh, it is getting creepy around here, isn't it? I don't think I'm in Rivendell anymore. It's awful foggy. Oh, where am I going? I'm totally lost. Surprise, surprise.
There's a cave at the top of the hill.
Of course, I'm at the bottom of the hill. Why would you want to put ketchup on your allies? You put ketchup on anything. Didn't you know? Yeah. Okay, wait a second. I'm totally not going the right way here. Why is there not... This one? No, that's not right, is it? Approach it from the other side, maybe. Nope, that's not right either. Huh. How much group content, 3, 6, 12-man instances, can we expect for Update 23? We'll have more information on that as we get closer to it. I don't want to give a number or anything of that at this point. It's something that we have looked into, though. Go across the bridge? Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, okie dokie. Okie doke. Thank you. I don't think we have any plans to have Hobbit champions. I'm sorry.
What about High Elf Heralds?
I have not heard of that either. Cordovan cannot play Gandalf. Gandalf knows where he's going in the world. Only roll left Radagast. Well, I mean, I could be Radagast too, probably. But, you know, you don't actually know that Gandalf knows where he's going. Maybe he just sort of puts on an air. It's like, oh yeah, I was totally meant to be here. I mean, you know, he disappears from the group, gets lost all the time, and then magically comes back. Just saying. Maybe he's just like, alright, yeah. Totally meant to be here. Oh, crap. Okay, I am definitely not finding what I need to find. Well, this might have to hang off till the next show then.
Yeah, it was pretty intense for the time we had left. Plus the fact that I'm still trying to beat up on this thing so I can actually do my show.
So I'm trying to figure out, you say at the top of the hill, but all I'm seeing is walls here and then like a waterfall.
It's, there's a, you're, where the heck are you? Get down here where I am. You gotta be down by the river where the quest ring is.
Okay, well this is where I was earlier. Oh, there's the cave. Okay. I believe this should be the cave. All right, let's see. So you're saying the fight between Gandalf and the Balrog wasn't actually a fight, it was a chance to ask for directions. Nice. Can we have war dolphins? Yes. No. Yes, but no.
Somebody's been watching Sequest again.
Yep. All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching Court of the Rings here on twitch.tv/LotraStream, YouTube, and Facebook. Like I said, we are going to be streaming Shirefest. That's from 3 to 5 today with me, and then Druid's Fire, who'll be taking off over on this channel after I'm done here in a few minutes. We'll also be streaming on Friday evening and Saturday, the Crick Hollow Music Festival there, the Shirefest, the 5th one. Good luck to all the bands who are there. tinyurl.com/Shirefest if you want to know more, and I hope to see you here. Well, stick around for Druid's Fire, but at the very least, I also hope to see you here at 3 o'clock for some cool music. Thanks for watching Court of the Rings. I'll be back next week with more information. Thanks, Druid's Fire, for joining me, and good luck on your Discord issues, and we will see you again soon.
Bye.